Is he deluded? He's developing! Dissenters, yes, team up. Don't relate, no. Julie's got this, I've got no concerns whatsoever. What is up guys, welcome back to the channel, my name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to The Legend of Korra Season 4, Episode 5. Now I absolutely loved the last episode and just watching Korra overcome the thing that she's been dealing with recently. It felt so satisfying to see her work through her PTSD in this way and fix, I think, more the physical and spiritual aspects of it. She got the poison out, the mercury, what was left in her is now out thanks to the wonderful Toph. And I think I just really loved how much detail they went into how she's suffering and how she's going through it. Now personally, I really hope it isn't finished because I really loved what they did there, and I hope that it kind of just lasts for the entire season because what they did was just so good. Like I can already see where it could come back up again. She's now off to try and stop Kuvira from attacking Zaofu, which sounds insane, with Tenzin's kids because I love what that episode did with them. But you can already imagine the conversation they're going to have. Korra's going to come in, try and stop her, but Kuvira will just be like, where have you been for the last 3 years? Well, I've been doing everything. I've provided stability, you've done absolutely nothing. What right do you have to stop me from continuing this expansion? It will make Korra look bad compared to her, and I'm just very interested to see what Korra's reaction to that will be. Will she be able to brush it off and continue her work as the Avatar to stop Kuvira, because that is the general right thing to do, or will she take it to heart and can realise that maybe she still has some work left to do? Because I still think she isn't done. I think she's fixed this physical and spiritual stuff, but mentally I still think she's going to have some obstacle to overcome. She fixed where she was being haunted by her past, but she still hasn't fixed her absence for the past 3 years. That's still going to be, she's going to have some guilt over that. But I'm very excited to just see her get back into it. She's going to be back into the focus and just dealing with the world conflict, because it feels you have Kuvira who's trying to take over Zaofu and unite the Earth Kingdom in this very oppressive way, but also you have whatever's going on with Varric and the spirit stuff, which I am terrified about, and that's definitely going to be what Korra has to do as the Avatar. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over there I'm uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. But with that said, let's just dive on in. And here we go. So good to know that she hasn't arrived yet, but she has her own signature blimps and airships. Great. How does that much metal stay afloat?
I'll contact President Raiko. He'll send the United Forces.
Will he? I mean, I hope he would, but how much time do you have?
But they'll never make it in time. Kuvira's already here and she brought her entire army.
Oh, and she's got mechs and oh, yeah, okay. She good. What's the plan here? She's just going to destroy Zaofu? Or is this just intimidation? Like, what can Zaofu do against this? We know they're highly defensible.
By this time tomorrow, my mother will have signed our treaty and the Earth Empire will finally be united.
Is he deluded? What? Why does he really think that'll happen?
Zaofu stopped being my home long ago.
Okay, no,
I'm ready to take it by force.
Yeah, you want your mum to like sign a peace treaty?
That's why we need Bolin.
Do you really think we can rely on him?
Sue trusts him. She'll listen to him.
That's your goal. You're going to send Bolin being the cute, cuddly patsy to try and get the peace deal signed.
She needs to know that the Avatar is back. The world needs to know.
How are you going to do this? Because you can't just show up and demand her to stop. You need to do some kind of something to declare that you're back, or also sort of setting right the 3 years you've been absent.
Why did we go through all that trouble to save you if you're not going to beat someone up?
There's definitely going to be a fight. Kuvira ain't going to just talk it out. She wants to do this the right way, but you know it's going to end up in a fight.
Okay, I'm Varric of Varric Industries International, and this is Spirit Vine Experiment 3-02.
I already don't like what I'm seeing here.
In this stasis capsule is a preserved spirit vine sample weighing approximately 2 joules.
Really? That's his unit of measure. Okay.
These are a form of pure energy that's unstable in what we call typical Earth conditions.
Oh no.
This machine should transfer the energy from the vine into a battery using electrical currents.
So he's taking spirit energy. That's great. Isn't that what like Genoa basically does? She bends spirit. You're bending energy. That's what Genoa does. Now you're doing this.
It's working. It's registering 5 Varrics of power. Now 7 Varrics.
And he measures power with him. Okay.
Whoa, what is this?
That's a disaster waiting to happen. Please stop. There's an explosive.
Please, shut it down. There are too many Varrics.
Of course. Oh, 1 Varric is enough. You don't need more. It ain't stopping. Abandoned cart. Oh, this thing's so gonna get weaponized. Oh, she's falling at the train! Come on, you can't live without her. Bring her back in. You basically can't function.
You know, you could stand to lose a few Julies.
Seriously.
I think you're just weak, sir. Pull harder.
Who was holding the spirit vine? That was 2 Julies.
Varric, you saved me.
Of course I saved you.
Huh?
I can't clean this place up by myself. Grab a
Yep.
broom.
Is there actually like some kind of romance between them?
Don't worry, I'm putting the kibosh on this project.
Really?
No, you're not. Do you realize what we can do with this kind of
There's hope for Varric?
And that's why we gotta put an end to it. What if it fell into the wrong hands?
You are the wrong hands, and even he realizes it. He wants to shut it down.
Recently, I've been having these strange feelings. Inside.
Wait,
It's
what?
like I'm concerned with others.
He's developing!
There's this nagging voice in my head.
He's growing a conscience.
telling me what's right from wrong.
I believe that voice is your conscience, sir.
It's actually waking up.
And I'm telling you, you will continue this project.
Don't listen to her.
Sorry? No.
Good. You can't control Varric.
Now there's a voice in my head telling me to drop you on the tracks.
Oh, great.
No! No! Head voices are liars! What do head voices know?
No, don't let this drown out his conscience. Great. So now you're gonna have a giant weapon. Wonderful. But Varric ain't gonna be happy with this. You can't control Varric. You might be able to threaten his life, but he's gonna do something. He wouldn't even stay in prison. He's not gonna let this like go. He might do something here if he's like really watched and can't do anything.
I'm here to return these.
You're visiting him?
You never opened them.
Stop writing me. I never want to see or hear from you again.
He's aged a lot.
I can't forgive myself for all the horrible things I've done. And I never expect you to forgive me. I tore our family apart and destroyed our good name.
But are you sorry? Do you still believe in that cause?
I just want you to know I'm so proud of you, Asami. You are the greatest thing I ever created.
What is he still? Is he ashamed of what he did, or is he just trying to get this connection with Asami? I mean, I can get that he wants to have a better connection with his daughter. That's sweet, yes, but is he still the same person he was when he got locked up?
We want you to be a part of our inner circle.
Inner circle? No way! Yes! That is a great honor.
When can Bolin realize it's a manipulation?
Sue has some resentment towards me and Batar that might cloud her judgment. We believe you can help her see clearly.
I can do that.
Oh, Bolin, no.
I'm finished telling her all the great things we've done. She'll be begging to join.
No, she won't.
Good, because we're here.
Thoughts on the army of intimidation?
Gonna send the wrong message?
The army is here to project strength. You're here to present peace.
Bolin, come on, don't fall for this. You've done stuff like you've seen all this stuff before. You have experience. Don't fall for it, please. Oh, even Opal's here. Okay, this should work. Surely Opal's more important to Bolin than whatever this is.
Sue, I didn't bring my army to threaten you. I wanted to show you all that your son and I have accomplished.
Oh, please, it's both.
You belong here. Why? So that I can go on living in your shadow.
Is it just an inferiority thing that he had, and then he saw Kuvira, who's very sort of superior in her sort of sense?
I set him free, and now he's accomplished more with me than he ever could have with you.
Yeah, no, it's an inferiority thing. He felt like he was under his parents' shadow. Kuvira offered a way out.
So what do you say we just all forget about that stuff, huh? I mean, that's the past. Right wing, right way. You guys know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I do appreciate Bolin being the mediator, and he's trying. This is like his calling, really. He is the perfect person to try and mediate, but you don't want this thing to be mediated. You want Zaofu to win.
We went to this town that had nothing, but now they have 2 sonomobiles.
I've been happy when you first arrived, but I've seen what happens after you leave.
Oh.
Citizens are forced to work as slave labor. Dissenters are sent off to who knows where.
We haven't seen that yet. I would like to see that.
But I'm giving you the 100% Bolin guarantee that we're making the Earth Empire a better place to live.
As Bolin actually... What's been seen?
You brought Bolin here to try and sway us. Leave! Zaofu will never accept you as their leader.
I need to know what is true. I feel like Opal is probably telling the truth, but how could Bolin not see that?
Empire, or we take the city by force.
And there we go. What do you think, Bolin? Come on, come on. You don't agree to that. You can't agree to that. As soon as Korra shows up, you know which side he will hopefully go to.
Zaofu! We made it! And a bunch of other people are here too.
It would actually be really impressive if Korra could take all of that down. That could be a really fun fight scene. Like, that would be a great display of her power being back, taking down that entire army.
Can't believe it. Where have you been? You disappeared. Everyone was so worried.
I'll tell you the whole story later.
It's nice that she's not blaming her for absence. She was just worried. I loved Sue.
When people don't cooperate, we must find other ways of convincing them to join.
Other ways?
I'm trying to look at the map. I'm assuming Zaofu is that bit that isn't filled in yet, but I feel like Zaofu doesn't look like that. It's not that shape, it's in mountains. My fear is that that is Republic City. It seems rather high up.
I just realized I never really gone back and checked on them.
He never saw. Okay.
People are my loyal subjects, and they contribute to the Empire however I see fit.
That sounds bad.
You're going to have to accept some hard truths.
Maybe I'm not really an inner circle kind of guy.
Already hesitating.
I didn't know your personal feelings for Opal were stronger than your loyalty to me.
Well, you should have assumed that.
The only thing I'm second-guessing is the decision to bring you along. Maybe you need to spend some time in a re-education camp.
Kuvira needs to find someone that she...
Where we send people to learn new trade skills.
Oh no.
Hard
Realizing what it
truths,
is.
Bolin.
Your loyalty seems to be wavering.
I want Kuvira to run into someone she can't intimidate.
Totally on your side. Completely 100% loyal.
You're going to desert as soon as you get out of here. Perfectly trust Bolin. He's saying what he needs to survive, basically.
Things get so bad between you and Kuvira.
She was like a daughter to me. I took her in when she was 8 years old and nourished her talents.
Okay, I didn't feel that from the last season.
Natural leader and quickly rose through the ranks. I saw myself in her.
Okay, that makes this so much more painful.
Ago, after the fall of the Earth Queen, Raiko and Tenzin came to see me.
And they wanted you to lead.
There's a vacuum of power, and I'm concerned about what will happen if someone doesn't take control of the situation.
And do you think I should be the one?
Yeah, she would have been the perfect choice.
And as a Beifong, you have credibility in the Earth Kingdom.
I'm honored that you thought of me.
Could Lin have done it? I feel like Lin could have, maybe.
Zaofu has always been a beacon of modern progress, and now you can share that with everyone.
What would you have me do? March into Ba Sing Se with an army?
Yeah, you would have to take it by force.
There are already wars. The Earth Queen nearly destroyed our nation. This is our opportunity to change things.
Both sides are right. And if Sue doesn't want to be leader, that is it. She knows her limits. If she were to do it, she knows exactly what would happen.
Kuvira turned my own son against me, and together they plotted behind my back.
So already got off to a bad start here.
We're going to Ba Sing Se to help bring order back to the Earth Kingdom.
No, you will stay here.
And who's going to stop me?
And I think this is both a bad idea on both of their side. Sue forcing her not to do it, and Kuvira going behind her back to do it. They're open about it and just saying Kuvira wants to step in to bring order. That would have been better.
You will never be welcomed back.
When I choose to return, it'll be on my own terms.
And you would force them to be part of the Empire.
Raiko and the other world leaders made her the provisional head of the Earth Kingdom.
Oh, so there's a lot of issues happen to do this. So it's Raiko's fault as well, and the rest of the world leaders as well.
Remove Kuvira from power once and for all.
Fighting is something the old me would do. That always made things worse.
Yeah, sometimes.
Let me talk with Kuvira. Maybe I can reason with her.
I like the headspace
Kuvira doesn't listen to reason.
Kuvira is kind of the perfect villain for Korra before this change. I like the change. He feels kind of like Aang, trying to reason with someone like this. But it's not what you need right now. I really like this side story with Asami. We're seeing little tiny bits where she is missing her dad, but we still don't know if he's changed or not.
Julie, hold your breath.
I'm not holding my breath.
Great! Now we're both gonna die!
Not gonna do what he says? Oh, that's new, isn't it? I guess it's kind of unreasonable.
Where did that hatch come from? Forget the hatch! There's something important I gotta tell you.
Well, there's something important I gotta tell you.
Dissenters, yes, team up!
Kuvira's crazy!
Yes, finally realizing it.
She threatened me too, and she's threatening Zaofu, and it turns out she's been threatening villages this whole time.
It doesn't look good that you have not noticed this. Excellent, and yep, okay, so they're off, good. But then what do you do about the spirit stuff? Because if you leave that, there'll be other scientists that Kuvira can threaten to finish it.
I'm here to ask you to back down. Please, take your army and leave.
I think we both know that's not going to happen.
What can Korra do? I don't think it's going back on her development to fight. That's something the Avatar needs to do, to be able to back up what the world needs.
Look, I was tasked with bringing stability to the Earth Kingdom. Zaofu is the last holdout.
It's already stable.
Why should I treat it differently than any other state?
It's already stable, that's why.
But you can't come to me as I'm on the verge of reuniting my nation and tell me to stop. The world was descending into chaos while you were gone.
There we go.
In order to fix it, I had to make some tough decisions.
I've had plenty of people mad at me about decisions I've made.
Exactly.
Don't relate, no.
If you really want to help, go back to Sue and try to talk some sense into her.
Korra, no, don't do this, please.
I won't make any moves until you talk to her and get back to me.
Maybe that will be for the best.
No, Korra!
He came by to see Varric, but we turned him away.
Open the door.
They're gone. They didn't close the hatch behind them.
We have some fugitives to catch.
Here we go. Badness, and as soon as Korra sees that they're attacking Bolin, she will go on the attack. Perfect.
And around the mountains and sneak into Zaofu from the rear.
They have mechs. Amazing.
Foo, that place is doomed. We gotta head to Republic City.
So if anything Zaofu's doomed, that makes me worried. If Varric thinks it's doomed, it probably means that Kuvira's got a good chance of destroying it. That makes me sad.
Helping, but it's a completely different type of helping. Let me think about this.
Oh, what the? Oh, why did you find them so quickly? Julie's got this. She's insane. I fully trust Julie. She can basically do anything.
That's not the flamethrower. What idiot designed these things?
Okay.
You did, sir.
Makes perfect sense.
For saving my life.
Come on, Julie. Oh. Julie's got this. I've got no concerns whatsoever. Kind of hard to tell who's in what suit, though. I think that one's the son-in-law. And you were truly trying to kill Bolin there. I feel like magma bending could come in handy here if you want to use it. I'm guessing these are made of platinum again. So you can't, so metal benders can't bend these. Don't shoot Julie!
Sir, you're making this very difficult.
And Varric really is having my problem. You can't tell who's in which suit. Could Bolin magma bend the suits and melt them? That be an option? I mean, Julie's just destroying them. Come on, save Varric. She can basically earthbend with the thing. Come on. Yes! Oh, beautiful. Yeah, you can superheat the things. They have to get out of them. Magma bending's just OP. Love it.
Turn yourself over, or else.
You gotta be kidding.
Thanks a lot, Julie.
Don't you dare! She did so much for you just then. Couldn't tell if Julie was angry at him then or angry that she failed.
When I first came here, it was because I wanted to tell you face to face that I never wanted to see or hear from you again.
And that's changed.
But when I saw you, it wasn't anger I felt. It was sadness. You tainted our past and destroyed our future together.
So we went from hatred to pity?
I'm not sure I'll ever be able to forgive you, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't try.
Okay, so it has changed.
Play some Pai Show. Like we used to.
You're opening a door for him. That's
Nothing
good.
would make me happier.
I like this, but again, we still don't know if he has fully changed. I like that Sammy is reaching out, but it could be futile because he could still be the same person he was that wanted to destroy and get rid of all benders. But ultimately, his motivation was his daughter.
Bolin and Julie will be going to the re-education camp for our most severe dissenter.
Oh, great.
We'll continue work on the Spirit Energy project.
Without Julie, how will he function?
Please, have mercy on me. Don't send me away. Take me back.
Interesting.
Was being loyal to the wrong person. I was blindly devoted to Varric, and I looked past all the times he ridiculed me or ordered me around.
Wow.
Me clean his disgusting feet because I thought he possessed the most brilliant mind in the world.
And that's changed?
I realized I was wrong. Compared to you, Varric's a fool.
Hey, come on, I'm right here.
Can you blame her?
Everything you've done, and I believe in your vision. I want to devote my life to you.
This would make Kuvira unstoppable if she gets Julie loyalty.
You two could learn something from her.
Don't quite trust it though.
I'll give you another chance.
Think about what you're doing.
We've seen undying loyalty from Julie. I don't know if this is like a ploy.
You never appreciated it. Guards, do the thing.
No!
The thing!
Not the thing! Julie!
I think there's two angles to this. Look at what resulted from that. Julie's now staying with Varric. She was, of course, going to the re-education camp, but now she's staying here
They're going
with
to
Varric.
sneak into Kuvira's camp and put an end to this.
No.
Yeah, what can Korra do now? You're gonna have to fight. There's no other option, really. Kuvira isn't the kind of person to talk it out. She is essentially an Ozai for the Earth Kingdom. But I guess a little less evil. If she had children, what would she do to them? But yeah, okay, first off, love the episode. Again, I think it is playing more into Korra's development. We're seeing that with how she's trying to be less of a fighter. She's trying to be the avatar that she thinks that she's become after the 3 years, being able to talk it out. Her past villains, she's had to fight all of them. And all of them, most of them have died. Of course, Zahir, he didn't die, he got captured, so he's somewhere. But the rest of his Red Lotus did die. So now, I like that she's trying to avoid a fight initially. I don't think she's completely closed off from the idea of fighting, but I do think maybe she doesn't trust herself in a fight. It's been a while since she's won. This will be the first time she's fighting after being healed, essentially. We are yet to see if she fully believes in what happened in the swamp. She could still have doubts in herself. I still think she's going to have guilt over being absent for the last 3 years. Because that's something we've seen a lot from her. She wants to be the avatar so much and be loved and be the avatar. It's her calling. And she's gotten it. But of course, stepping into the role was difficult, but it's something she's always wanted to do. And she's been forced to step out of it for 3 years, and now she has to try and understand what that means. Does she trust her healing? Because this will be the first proper fight that will actually mean a lot for the world as the avatar after a lot of fights that she has failed. It's not only just a test, but also something, it's not a test at all. This is like the ultimate fight that she has to do. Her fights before, or she failed, she couldn't do it, she was off her game. Now, She hasn't even had a practice fight to see if she's back on her game. This is the real thing now. So very excited to see what will happen there. I do love Kuvira, just the way she's able to intimidate and twist things around. She managed to twist Korra into thinking that her way was better. And that isn't saying that Korra was bad at that and like falling for Kuvira's trick. That's just how good Kuvira is. She's a master manipulator, intimidation, all of it. She is just the perfect, almost evil dictator leader person. She's very good at it. And just seeing that does make you wonder what her fiance is like. Was he actually manipulated into this, or was it by choice? I'm guessing it might be 50-50. There's probably a lot. He probably does align on some things, but the idea that he would turn against his mother in such a way does suggest, I think, manipulation. Then Bolin. So happy seeing him finally turn, because we know Bolin. It would not last long. Being here, he's just got to give the right information. Everything has been hidden from him because he is just generally a wonderful, good person. There's no way he can willingly go along with this if he knew the truth. And now he finally does. But of course he's being sent away now, so that's not going to be great. So hopefully, Korra's here, she'll be able to do something. She'll be able to get him out. But it's just nice seeing him, because it's also a great message that he does choose Opal over this. He does truly love her. But yeah, then I think the main focus of this episode was probably Varric and Julie. Love these two as like just their duo. But I think this episode did the most with them I think this show has ever done with them. Julie's just been the assistant. She's kind of always been a little bit silent, I guess, and just doing whatever Varric tells her to do. Here we get to see Varric actually choose not to weaponize the thing. It was morally upstanding. He grew a conscience, or at least he's growing one. He's having the voices in his head. That's a big deal. So he's actually developing. He's becoming a better person. Love to see it. But of course, then Kuvira threatens his life, and he's forced to stay. But he also saved Julie's life, so that is something. And I think she would value that. I think at the end there, she is tricking Kuvira. She's just going along with it because it means she can now stay in the compound where Varric is, and she can work on freeing him. I'm guessing what she did say in her rant was probably partly true, but also it brought Kuvira onto her side. It convinced her. So I think Julie is very good at what she does, and I don't think she's going to betray Varric like that. I think we've seen how hard Julie will fight for him, and she will literally do anything for him. I doubt that this little setback is enough to fully turn her against him. And the way they set up, I think, a little romance there with just how they landed after Varric saved her, I think that's going somewhere, and I think it will be very cute. But yeah, then Asami's little storyline I actually really liked. Of course, she doesn't really have anything to do with the main conflict right now, but I like what this just did for her, because her dad has always been a defining thing for her character. He was the one that started the company. He was part of her origin with how her mum died and how him becoming a villain affected her. And now we get to see her moving forward and trying to sort of forgive him. I like that it isn't just a straight up, I forgive you. She wants her father's love and relationship back. She does want that, but of course she can't just forgive everything he did. I do find it interesting that we don't actually know if he's changed his opinion on his ideology. He just wants his daughter back. And I think that is sweet. We note that he was his main motivation to begin with. Benders killed his wife, so he hated them for it, but he always loved his daughter. That never changed, I think. I'm trying to remember if he did attack her in a mech or something. But hopefully prison her. I want to be optimistic about it. I want to think that this is genuine, because I'm trying to think what it could set up for the story. And it does concern me, because it could be that he's going to be another villain again and maybe somehow get out of prison like Varric did. And I don't want that to be the case, because this is just quite sweet. But then if it is just for the sake of being sweet, is that good for the overall narrative? What does this set up for Asami and him? Because you wouldn't just bring him back just to be the sweet dad again. It would be nice if he does fully change for the better, but I doubt it. I'm very distrusting. But yeah, very excited to get into the next episode now, because I would love it if we get to see Korra go full Avatar and go nuts and just take down an entire army. That would be awesome to see. First off, this season continues to be so good so far, and I think it's mainly down to just how I'm loving Korra's development this time. I think her development has been kind of tricky for me to see throughout the previous seasons, because she is a character that isn't, I guess, typical in my sense. Because Korra's character development, she's definitely suffered through a lot of things, and she's definitely overcome a lot, but it always felt like she's remained the same person. But then looking back, I do think she has grown significantly to this point. Starting off when she first became the Avatar, she was so eager to please everyone and be this person. Then over the course of time, she's now taken 3 years absence. It has affected her, and I think this season is allowing me to see a lot of her growth in a better light now, and it is becoming more clear with where she is now, where she's actually choosing to not straight up fight someone first, but actually to talk to them, to try and talk it out, to find a peaceful solution. And I think that is the correct approach for the Avatar. We saw Roku do it with Sozin originally. Aang tried to do it. Actually, Aang never tried to do it with Ozai, I think. I think he always knew it was going to be a fight. I'm trying to remember the final now because it was just so amazing in my head. Aang knew he needed to stop Ozai. He knew it was going to be a fight. So I just like that we're seeing that sort of repeated now, where Korra is trying to take a peaceful option rather than just straight up fighting first. Of course, we know it's going to end in a fight, but this is the correct approach to do it in. And I like that Korra's gotten there. But it will be interesting to see how, I guess, Kuvira's technic betrayal will affect her, because Kuvira was a manipulator. She managed to get Korra under sort of the impression that if Zaofu joined, it would be better. And then of course she turns around and sends Bolin off and is forcing Varric to build a weapon. Not good things. So I imagine Korra will get angry about that and then go on the attack, which I don't think will be the best approach. I'm hoping that she'll realise that Kuvira just isn't a good leader and that she will need to take her down. I hope she doesn't attack out of anger in that sense. In the personal sense, that what she's done to Bolin, it needs to be from the perspective of what she's doing is bad for the world. But I think if it does come from a personal place, Kuvira will have a better chance of getting under her skin. Because then if she knows that Korra's sort of attacking through personal means, she can attack by attacking her personally as well. Where have you been for the past 3 years? All of that stuff, and laying on the guilt. But yeah, I really loved what Korra did in this episode. I just like that she was calm. She didn't attack first. It's going to be very interesting to see what she does next, because that'll be her first real fight since healing. And it's going to be an all-out fight, so it'll be very interesting to see if she can win, and if because she lost to just regular people before in this past 3 years. So what will she do against Kuvira? Then looking at Kuvira herself, I like that we got a history there. Finally seeing that, so Su adopted her essentially when she was 8, and not only became a prodigy, but a daughter, all of this stuff. So it makes this betrayal even worse, and knowing the relationship between them, it isn't just a former boss, but actually a mother figure that you have betrayed. And I really like the 2 scenes that we got from the past. Seeing Raiko and Tenzin approach Su as being the leader, and just seeing that both Su and Kuvira had good sort of points being made. Su knows her limits. If she did it, she knows that there would be another war starting. She does not want to be oppressive. And to conquer Ba Sing Se in that sense and appoint a new leader would be oppressive, no matter what. But some could argue that oppression in that sense could be justified to bring order and then just sort of back off a little bit and ease things up. But if you stay oppressive, that's not a good thing. But Su knows that if she did do it, it would ultimately end badly. She does not want that. She does not believe in that, so she cannot bring that to fruition. Yeah, Kuvira's point was that there's chaos at the minute. You could bring all of the progress and success that Zaofu has to the rest of the Earth Kingdom. Exactly Ozai's point, or at least Sozin's point originally. He wanted to spread the great advancements of the Fire Nation to the rest of the world. Kuvira right now wants to do that for the entire Earth Kingdom, starting from Zaofu. So you can see how it all starts in good places, but it all just completely sort of goes beyond and goes nuts. So I think Su probably understands history. I think she's very intelligent and probably looks at history and saw what happened, especially if she's built this whole city in such a different way than previously. So she's known what to avoid, and she knows that she should not do this, and she knows exactly where it will lead. And we've seen where it has led. So Su was right. Then we get the second scene, where we find out that Kuvira went behind Su's back to go and fill this void, and Su is adamantly against it and telling her to stay. I think both are in the wrong there. I think if Su was supportive of it, Kuvira could have been less oppressive and less dictator-ish, because it comes now from a place of rebellion. If she knew she had Su's some kind of support from Su, I think she may have been softer in this approach. If she understood that her role model, essentially, is still on her side, she might still want to impress her and do things Su's way. She might want to do things as if she was Su. Being told that to not do this at all, means that she's gone completely away from Su and Su's ideals. Meaning she will no longer be soft and compassionate, she will do the opposite. She does not want to be like Su because of the reaction Su gave. But then on Kuvira's hand, she started it off in the wrong place as well, because she went behind Su's back and betrayed her. I really think it could have gone completely differently if Kuvira just talked to Su about it. If you don't want to do it, let me take control. Let me do this and bring about peace, and you be sort of the overseer. You guide it. We can't sit idly by as things just turn to chaos. We need to try and help in some way, and if filling the void temporarily will do that, it's our duty to. Of course, Su could still object to that, but at least if you came from it at a positive approach, it would be better. And then really it would only be Su on the negative side. I think I just love how we can see both the first scene, they both have good points to this, and the second scene, it all just falls apart, and this is where really the friction starts and explodes. Then on to Bolin's part in all of this, and I'm just happy that we don't have to see him working with Kuvira for a long time. I'm glad that as soon as he realizes that bad things are happening, he's out, he's done. And I like how he did it. He was smart. He knew that if he was outright against it, he'd be sent away. He tried to think of a smart approach, went to Varric, and managed to come up with a good plan until they got caught. I think it's a great way to see his development as well, because I think Bolin from the start, you could almost see as kind of the naive one, wanting to trust people all the time. Here we get to see him sort of mature. He realizes that he can't trust Kuvira, and he needs to sort of come up with a sneaky plan to get away. And I really like that this whole action of his basically just shows how much he does love Opal, because he didn't require proof, really. He heard what Opal said, that Kuvira, when she gets the towns under her control, it all seems good to begin with, but then she turns it into slavery. And all he had to do was hear Opal say that, and that is what let him leave. It wasn't Korra showing up, it was Opal. So I think I just love the emphasis that they put on that relationship, because it's really nice to see after the relationships we've seen Bolin go through. After he was kind of used by Korra at the start and betrayed by Mako, then with the whole Eska thing, now it feels like he's being rewarded for actually finding a good relationship. It's like he just believes Opal. He didn't require any proof. He didn't go back and look. He just took Opal's word for the truth and realized the right course of action. Beautiful. Now I need him to actually reunite with Opal because she doesn't know that he's turned. So their relationship is still a little iffy there because she could be done with him if she thinks he's still like this. So he needs to get back to her fast. Then Varric, my word, he has developed a lot. He's growing a conscience. He's not just crazy and money hungry. He's actually realized that this energy is too dangerous. He realizes that it's in the wrong hands of right now. I cannot believe it. I do really love Varric because he is just a nutcase, but now he has grown a conscience. He can be his insane, chaotic self, but he can direct it. He's actually seen that this stuff is bad and should not use it. It registered over 7 Julies. No, not 7. It registered over 7 Varrics. Very bad. 1 is enough. And he actually immediately was about to shut the project down until Kuvira stepped in. It's given me so much hope for his character that he can actually be a good guy in this sense. And it's kind of nice to see that his own invention is what's sort of turning him. It's self-development in this way. He's not being forced to develop by anyone else. It's his own actions that he's starting to realize are bad. Because he's created a bunch of things in the past. He's done a lot of shady things, but he's actually gotten to the point where what he's done is just too bad for him. That it's actually woken up his conscience. But aside from that, he now is forced to work on the Spirit Vines, which I can only assume will end in disaster if he doesn't try to sabotage it. Even he knows how bad this thing is. You don't even have to know his association with it is going to be bad. But the fact that he knows himself that this thing is going to be a complete nightmare raises the stakes tremendously. I'm really hopeful that he does manage to sabotage this thing in some way, but the fact that we've seen it kind of in action here does give me a lot of concern. It basically was a giant beam of pink-purple light stuff, kind of like Vaatu in a way. It was like Vaatu's like blast, whatever he did. It's kind of like that. So the fact that he's been able to do it here means it's going to be used again, and that is very concerning. Then Julie, absolutely love her. She's got to be one of my favorite characters from this, just from, I guess, the weirdness of her relationship with Varric. Because first it felt very unfair how Varric treated her. It was just very overpowering in their relationship. She would do whatever he said, no matter how gross and weird. But now we get to see a different angle on it. Originally, I just thought that she probably was paid very well and that she was just a very loyal employee. But now I think that she might actually have feelings for him and love him, or that at least that was awoken here. First, we get to see Varric actually save her. He wasn't selfish. He realizes that he does need Julie. Of course, he says about doing gross cleaning, whatever. But ultimately, we all know that Varric cannot function without her. She does so much for him that he would literally fall apart. He wouldn't be able to do anything without her. And you could say that is kind of a form of love. It may not be romantic, but it's definitely some form of love. Then we get to see her fight incredibly well against the 3 mechs, against a bunch of mechs to save his life, and she was just phenomenal. Ultimately, it did end in failure, but then we have the scene where when she did fail and Varric was being held at, I guess, crushing point, he blamed Julie and she had a sort of very sour face. I'm not sure whether or not she's angry at Varric or angry at herself for failing, because it could be 2 different things depending on how the ending goes. Because here she basically betrays Varric, sides with Kuvira, pledges undying loyalty to her, and basically has a huge speech about how much she hates Varric. Either that is her just trying to play to Kuvira's ego, to stay in the base, because originally she was going somewhere else. She'd have been separated from Varric. Now she's not. She's in the same place. She gets to stay. Or it is true. So that would mean at the end when Varric blamed her for not saving him, she is angry at Varric, and that was one stepping stone into her eventual betrayal here. Or she was angry at herself and is still trying to save him. And I need to understand what kind of loyalty does she have? How unbreaking is it? How undying is it? Because that would mean that she was angry at herself for failing. And then even here, all of this was sort of kind of fake. I imagine some of it was true. It was too good to be completely fake. She definitely had some truth behind her words here, but I do think ultimately she does love Varric in some sense, and that there is some kind of weird attachment between them. And she's doing all of this to stay with Varric to try and free him. I don't think she's going to fully be with Kuvira. She's now seeing that Varric is changing for the better, and we still don't know what like Julie's conscience is, because she goes along with Varric's plans, so she might push it down a bit for whatever Varric does. And again, I think that's also another form of attachment. She's able to push down her own conscience for the sake of Varric. I don't think whatever Kuvira could do could possibly come between them. I do think this is a complete sort of misdirect in favour of Julie to eventually save Varric in some sneaky way. So I'm very happy with that, and their relationship is just fun, and I love what this episode did with it. Then Asami, I do really like the subtle storyline that she got in here, trying to reconnect with her father. Because there's a lot of ways this could go, because it feels very harmless, it feels very out of nowhere in the sense it's really sweet, and first glance, it doesn't have a lot to do with the plot. But of course, it's set up, it's to do something with. You bring back the voice actor, obviously for the dad, so he's going to be doing something. He's not going to just be here in prison. And that can mean it could go two different ways. I really like that Asami has this glimmer of hope where she wants to get the relationship back with her father. I think that's really sweet, but ultimately we do not know if he has changed his ideology. And that's the big thing. Does he want Benders still wiped out and cleansed from the earth because he still blames them all for what happened to his wife? Or has he realised that Asami is his only family that he has left, and maybe to give up the ideology if he can be with her again? So right now the story with this setup could either be that he might get some kind of probation or freedom or some kind of something, and he can be helpful and he can change and he can be sort of a guide for Asami, even though I think she's kind of fixed the company, so I'm not really sure what he could do. Positively, is there anything he can do to help Asami? Him being set up here, it can either be a positive or a negative. He can either positively influence the story in some helpful manner, but what on earth could that be? Not quite sure, because Asami's basically taken that role over perfectly. But negatively, he could become another villain. He could become another evil scientist. The weapon. Varric. Spirit stuff. If Varric gets out, you now have another evil scientist. Oh, I'm gonna hate if that happens. That's kind of the perfect setup. You reintroduce him. He is a scientist. He's an engineer. He made the automobile car things. And if Varric does find a way out and doesn't complete the weapon or sabotages it in some way, he is the next best person to fix it. And I really hate that. I want him to be positive, but it's so much easier to see it falling into a negative way. Because Asami's done everything. She's fixed the company. There is no need for him back in the story. The only reason to bring him back is as an engineer. He doesn't have anything to do on Asami's side, it's just their relationship. But as an engineer, what does he have left to do? The new engineering project. Messing around with the weapon, which is Kuvira's stuff. I've got a really bad feeling that that's where this is going. And it makes me so sad, because Asami's little story here was really sweet. And if it does mean that her dad's going to turn bad again, it's going to be heartbreaking. But yeah, as for what's next, Kuvira is going to start attacking Zaofu. I'm very concerned about what this means, because I love Zaofu. I don't want it destroyed or be forced under Kuvira's rule. It works so well being independent. It's how it functions. It's how it's thrived and become successful. So if Kuvira does get her way, that would be absolutely awful. But then again, in the grand term of the story, I do wonder where this will go. We have like 13 episodes this season. Kuvira is the main villain, and she is an extremist nationalist. And you have New Republic, which is built on Earth Kingdom land. So I think the ultimate ending for Kuvira will be trying to take over the New Republic, but then to do that, she would have to finish Zaofu. So it does make me think that if they're already tackling Zaofu now, then it will probably fall under Kuvira's rule, and that will mean that she'll go over to the New Republic and try and take that down. Or she will lose here and go for the second best option. I really don't know. I don't want Zaofu to fall, and I'm very concerned about it. If it does fall, that would mean Korra would have had to have failed. But then if she wins, what does that mean? Does that mean she completely defeats Kuvira? Because again, it's too early for Kuvira to be defeated. My head's kind of spinning with ideas. All of them are very good for where this could go. If Korra does lose, that means there's more time for development and just trying to fix herself. Because if she realizes that she still isn't in fighting spirit, that means she's still got something else left to finish off. That would be the guilt from the past 3 years. How does she fix that? And then that means Kuvira gets more powerful. It means the Earth Kingdom is being shaped in a completely another way as well. And I feel like it could then become the Metal Kingdom. Then on the other side of that, you have Varric, who now has to work on the spirit thing, the spirit energy, whatever. It looks like a Vaatu beam. That's what it looked like, and I think that's what it sounded like as well. So it would be terrifying if Kuvira can get her hands on that and basically control like what Vaatu's attack. It would not be a good thing, and if anything, that could be a way of bringing him back as well, because right now he's inside Rava and tiny and teeny, but if his energy is brought back in a sense, or at least his power, and used for evil, I felt like that could speed up the process. That wouldn't be good. I think there's just a lot of setup right now, and I like all of it. You can see where each thing can go, even the subtle things, like Asami's dad coming back. All of these subtle little things, you can see where they can all lead to eventually. And it is terrifying, and I can't wait to see how Korra will be able to overcome all of it. Overall, this episode was phenomenal. Loved every second of it, especially Varric and Julie's relationship, and just seeing how we get more exploration on that. It's so weird, and it's so ill-defined, and I like that we're kind of defining it in a weird way. We can see some kind of romantic tension between them. We can see a misdirect here, where it could be undying loyalty, or it could be Julie's just had enough. Bolin as well, getting to see him and how his relationship has become the most important thing to him, not even Korra stepping in, but actually Opal is his motivation and the reason he's turned against Kuvira now. But of course now he's being sent off to a re-education camp, which is very scary. So hopefully Korra, whatever she does next, can save him. But this episode was just so good in everything that it managed to do, seeing Korra's development, seeing that she's actually trying to find a peaceful solution before attacking, very good. And now she has free reign to actually attack, which I cannot wait to see. I want a giant scene where she just demolishes the entire army. But then again, I do think to myself, if she does that, would that just be the end of everything? Because this is Kuvira's entire army. If Korra does win, is at the end of Kuvira? So does that mean she can't win since there's 13 episodes? I don't know, I just love how this has been set up. I love where this is going, and I can't wait to see what else is going to come for Korra. Because this is basically, this season is all of her stuff in one. Season 1 dealt with the physical abilities of being the Avatar. Season 2 dealt with the spiritual. Season 3 dealt with ideology. Now this is dealing with all of it rolled into one. She's dealt with the spirits. She's dealing with an ideology that wants to reunite the Earth Kingdom and just make it superior. And she's dealing with the physical stuff where she hasn't been in the game for 3 years and she has to get back into the fighting shape. So I can't wait to see where this will all end up for her and how she will tackle all these things at once. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments. And with that, I will see you in the next one for Season 4, Episode 6. See ya!